give it a shot again. Welcome back, everyone. I'm trying to make sure that the chat actually works. I want that to appear on screen, so I had to do a restart. Pretty annoying, sorry about that. But hopefully this will work, and when people come back to chat, the messages will appear on screen, and that's exactly what we want. We want people's messages to be on screen, so if you're there in the chat, go ahead and say anything you'd like. And let's see if it appears on screen. I think one way that I can also test it is I think I can type on mine and say, hello, hello. So does that appear on screen? I guess not. Still don't see that on screen. I don't know what it is. I don't think that I have too many other screens open or something. I'm sure it's some sort of problem with my chat system here. So let's say one more time. Well, I'm seeing something now, I guess. My preview, I guess it's there. I don't quite know what I changed, but okay. I guess we'll say that it's working. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a shot now. If you're there, if everyone's there in the chat, give it a shot. Try to say something. I think I fixed it, and I'm going to play version 1 of this green deck. It has not really been tuned, and I know there was a suggestion about cards that search for lands. We'll see about adding that in a moment. Let's give it the first run through. Mono green stompy deck. So you're back now. Let's see, is that going to appear on screen? I know when I typed a moment ago, so see my message appeared there. Does everyone else's message appear? Go ahead and try typing again. That little bird hooted at me. Okay, so they're gonna do an arboreal grazer. Now I got all these mana dorks, but then nothing is quite. I didn't get anything on my opening draw. Yeah, so my opponent's already way ahead of me. You're typing again. Why is it that only my text is appearing? So only my text is appearing when I'm typing. That is very annoying. So I don't know if there's some sort of setting. Some sort of setting. I don't know. I don't have the willpower at the moment to try to figure this out. This was working obviously the last whole week that I've been streaming, because I've been streaming on and off for several days, right? So it is what it is. Sorry, the chat's not going to work for people, but I can still see it, but it's not going to be on screen, so we'll just live with it. Okay, so I'm still not getting any of these. I have a lot of them, right? I have like 10 mana dorks, and this is the second game where I don't get any of them. I have 1 drops and 2 drops. Okay, there's a 1 drop, fine. So someone might be... that doesn't seem to be the big stompy deck. So I guess one downside of this is if I have the goose, turn 2 I've got 3 mana, and oops, I forgot to make another. Okay, there we go. Giant monster emblem. Whenever you cast a creature, draw a card. Okay, so it's a 6/6 with hexproof. And they're like, nope, fine. Harlequin. They probably didn't get their land drop, so that's what happens there. Okay, here's the first win. Check it out, Citizen Petitioner. Okay, let's go on. Corbin, 6/6 with big horns. That's what happens. Okay, so this is fine. I've got the Ceratops, Mana Geode, Rabid Bite. Okay. If I get my third land, haha, mirror match. Okay, there's my third land. So here's the first person to get a big creature, and they're probably going to tap. Ooh, they got a 4/1. Okay, with escape. So what I could do to set them back is choose a target. Target a creature. Target creature you control. Okay, so I choose my target and their target. Okay. So that's gonna set them back. Next, I will put in another druid. Loathsome Lander or Elves would be perfect. I'm not sure if it lets you play Historic. That's actually a very cool one right there. Look at that. That's a 4/1 and it's common. Neoform it. Okay, what are you gonna go get instead? What they need is mana. But they get to go get a 3-drop creature. Do they have any good 3-drops? I guess they have a hard time choosing. They got a Nylea. Okay, well. I have an Nylea 2 at some point. Or I could try to do some of this. And while they're still trying to figure out what they're doing, I have a lot of action going on. Okay, that's another 4/1. They're really stuck on lands. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Corbin, this is best of 1. When I played the Perforos deck last time, I noticed that like you don't have all of the strategy that you could do with best of 3. But anyway, here is the Renata called to the hunt. It's pretty nice. Okay, 2 wins so far. Let's keep going. So earlier I made a really tasty avocado dip, and I didn't have any chips for it really, so I put it as part of the other part of my meal. But I really was craving some chips, or crisps as they may be called elsewhere. Do you call them crisps, or do you call them chips? Because obviously if we're talking about fish and chips, which is British, I don't know, actually, is fish and chips global? So those chips are the French fries, right? And then crisps. Call them chips, as they should be. Okay, so they're trying to do some ramp or something. And I'm having a very slow hand. Okay, 3rd turn, I suppose. Geode, so I can scry. And then 2 ceratopses. Now what does Nylea do again? As long as it's creature spells cost 1 less. Okay. And then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, grab it. Okay, not amazing, but it's a 5/6, so that's fine. This is a 3/4. Okay, that's gonna be annoying. This is 5/4 that I can haste. And there's a Ferox. Nice. So we will haste on that. Got a 5/4 haste. Okay, reduces 1 thing. Let's see if they summon a god, an enchantment god. That'd probably be the best play, because then they would get the trigger from the card draw and the trigger from the Archon, but instead they're going to do that. Okay, well. That's fine, because I can get another Ceratops out. With haste. And trample. They probably won't block that 2/2, but if they do, there's some trample damage. 25 life. Non-creature spells are more expensive. That's fine. It's pretty much all creatures that I have. See how many. Let's guess how many enchantments are they going to be able to play right now. I bet you 3 enchantments. There's 1. There's 2. And then they're out. Okay, let's move on. They have it in pretty good shape. So they had a lot of removal. Again, this deck doesn't really have that much removal. It's a little bit more aggro. The only removal is Rabid Bite and big creatures. And you can't really protect the creatures can't protect themselves too much. So that's... Hey, here's Corbin again. Didn't we battle Corbin a little bit? A little while ago? They're going to say, you again? Yeah, where's all my ramp? Here we go. Okay. 3rd turn, Banner. Incubation Druid's a good one. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Growth Spiral, and they didn't pull anything off of it. Oops, they're having bad luck again. That is unfortunate. And that goose goes in. You mess with the honk, you get the bonk. There we go. They got their third land. They missed one last turn. They must have top-decked that. Zegana. Probably a good one. That's a 4/4. Sure. Do I have enough devotion for this yet? That's enough devotion. That's a flyer. I also have protection from blue, so their multicolored blue Zegana is not able to block my 6/4. And then next I've got a 6/6. Well, I've got it online as 6/6 indestructible, so I'll be able to block. And Zegana does what else again? When it enters, if you control another creature with a counter, draw a card, or else adapt. She becomes an 8/8 with 6 mana. It's pretty fun. Looks like they want to +1 counter their druid, which will make it a little stronger, more resilient, and make mana, and then maybe add the Utopia, then maybe add the... Okay, Hydra, that's a good one, but they can make it a 2/3, sure. Gonna hit my Goose, which then that loses that, fine. And then a land. Okay, does this deck have too many lands? Or it's just the RNG. Okay, let's see if we can pull any good card that is worthless, but we can do it again. And that's also worthless. Is it the standard 24? Yep, it's the... Well, I'm assuming it's the auto 24, so most likely it is. Alright, so they're going to do the old doubling counter trick. But I can still attack with a 6/4, and then Zegana won't be able to block it. I can add Trample to my Druid, and that will be 3 damage that goes through. And they're like, never mind. Okay. So that's the third win, and we get the final Nylea Keen-Eyed. Maybe play it a little bit more, but what do you think about the deck construction? Is it okay? Should we kind of look at it again for something, for some reason? It does have 24 lands. Never summoned the beast. Saw the banner often. Geode, Ferox often. Nylea, Ceratops saw it often. And Cavalier, never saw the Cavalier, even though I've got 3 of them. Challenger Troll. 24 Forests. Needs more pumps like Giant Growth. Should I take out 2 Forests and put some Giant Growths in there? I already won all of the... Let's just try it. I already won all of the matches for it, so let's just try that. 2 less lands and 2 more Giant Growths for fun, so that it goes... Well, Giant Growth is +3/+3, but it doesn't give Trample, so that's still... it's just like more showy, and they can chump block. Okay, at least I get to go first. I noticed that when it was like Goose turn 1 into Mana Rock turn 3, it didn't quite feel like it. Well, if it was classic, it would be the classic artwork with the rat holding all of those. What was it? Dead bodies or something? It was a rat inside of a cave, and then there were like dead bodies there or something. The latest giant growth has Mo, the planeswalking dog. Alright, I hope they don't have a counter spell for that. That could be a quench. Or not. Okay. And then they have nothing for that. Okay, let's bring out another. And they're like, never mind. Mintage key. They're like, I cannot handle 2 ravenous dinosaurs. Okay, so there's the giant growth. I go first. It'll be fun to giant growth this plant. Innkeeper, okay. So let's see, Kragos. These big critters definitely, sure. They thought they surely wouldn't lose their mana dork. Oh, they're gonna do that. Okay, I guess. Are you sure you wanted to use so many cards for such a result? So I guess they'll be able to live their best life. They'll drop the Innkeeper. Okay, instead, they're really pumping this up so they can do double stuff. I guess it would have been better to do the Innkeeper. Okay, anyway, let's do this. We need to bring this out and then haste it. And then attack with a 5/4. Whoops. Whoops, I missed that land. I missed that trigger there. I could have put giant growth on it, but it moved from phase to phase, so that was a little mistake. Okay, well, they have a 5/4. Fine. Let's do a pump on this, and let's see if they block my Caryatid, because then I can giant growth it. Okay, well, giant growth is a thing. That might have been a good call. So only one green source. I wonder if they have anything like, ooh, that's got hexproof, sorry about that. I wonder if they have anything like, oh, that's fun, look at that, look at what happened there. Because they didn't have a second valid target, the rider didn't go on the adventure. And then I'm just getting mana flooded. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. My druid is totally hexproof. Gonna get a Nylea. Played old school. Okay, let's Rabid Bite that Innkeeper and then go in there. The drink is getting to me. What are you having at the moment? I had like some leftover a couple of spirits left over yesterday, and I just kind of threw them together. Okay, well, GG. I'm not getting anything good there. So let's do one more match or so, and then maybe switch up game modes a little bit. So the season ended, and I took a screenshot of it, but I made it up to Platinum 2. Jameson Whiskey and Lime sounds good. So I made it up to Platinum 2, 2.0, I think. I got up to 2.4, and then I lost a couple of times, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to jinx myself. So started back on. Seems to be a thing when I stream to make it funnier than ever, perhaps. Okay, so here's the first time I do this beast. Turn 1. And I'm battling Ho Chi Minh 1. Interesting. That might be an opt. I was about to say that might be an opt, or it might be an unsummon, and they're gonna unsummon my human to Oblivion. And then I attack with a 1/1. Okay, so playing blue, a triple blue. That could be a counter spell waiting for my Love-Struck Beast. And so they're going to do a Triumph. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so that's a 5/4 with protection from blue. And I'm playing a mono blue deck. So they won't be able to unsummon it, they won't be able to Brazen Borrower it. Even if they bring out like, okay, Murmuring Mystic, that's not cool. Where is my rabid thing? Okay. Let's bring out one of these. One of these. And attack with one of these. So they'll probably pull a bunch of spells to make a bunch of birds. Oh, okay, double Mystic. If they do one opt, that'll give them 2 birds. There we go, 2 birds. However, my Ceratops is still unblockable by them, so that's good. And then here I can make that even better. And we'll scry to see if there's anything good. That's not good. Okay. Let's go all in here, and I'll be able to add trample. Well, like I said, I don't even add to trample to the Ceratops. It's unblockable. If they block with one bird, that'll be enough. And they want to block that Ceratops, but it's like, nope, it's protection from blue. And I guess I'll just tap out here with everything. So that's a big green squad. Now they're totally untapped and they have a lot of mystics. What I need to top deck is another Ceratops and then give it haste. Ooh, benthic whatever. That's a good one. Makes a bunch of walls. And that's not what I needed, so fine. Let's just go with the unblockable thing. It's a lot of mana. They just have no answer for that, right? Because it's protection from blue. There's nothing to be done with it. Thassa, okay. That'll let them blink something. What, the benthic? Benthid? They'll get more of these cool little illusions, but again, I am... they're just kind of grasping at straws. And even if they hit me with everything, it doesn't matter. They should blink their bird. That'd be the big brain play. Well, when you devote yourself to that much blue, the shifting Ceratops is definitely a problem. I know I've had that when I was playing my mono blue deck trying to climb the ladder. Okay, speaking of the ladder, let's switch over to play the ladder a little bit. Like I said, I was up to Platinum, and then after the restart of the season, Gold 4. So let's play the ladder a little bit. And what I want to play is... I'll do Simic Flash once I want to... once I want to climb for real. At the moment, let's play a little bit Mono Black Devotion. I got a bunch of different versions of this one. I got to pare it down to like one core version. But what's in there? Of course, we've got Ayara, Called Familiar, Murderous Rider, Bolus's Citadel, and of course, Grey Merchant of Asphodel. We'll play this a bit. Battling Mojo. Okay, this is kind of perfect. Unless I get turn 1. Okay, we're gonna get some of that. Fine. Surprised they didn't have their turn 1. This is probably gonna be the Robber of the Rich. Okay, Rimrock. Fine. Guess we should Remorse here to get rid of that Embercleave. Or Anax, actually. Next turn, Yarok, which won't be that useful because it'll just they'll just drop a land. But then I've got the cat combo. Alright, So, they can attack with that knight. I can block it totally easy. Okay. So they probably still have one more trick up their sleeve, since it hesitated. Oh, they have that. Okay, that's fine. So let's eat the cat. Bring it back. Citadel. You have to step away. Okay, no problem. I switched over to the ladder. And I'm playing mono black devotion. I got my cat combo out. I'm playing mono against mono red. They have a phoenix in the air, which can do a lot of damage. Ooh, Torbrand, that's not good. Fine. They top decked something amazing. So let's block that there. Then we'll scry. Hopefully that'll let me scry for something good. Rankle. That won't be too useful because whatever they sacrifice isn't amazing. The chat is popping up now? Okay, so if I can get my 5th land, I'll be able to Gray Merchant, but that's not a 5th land. Okay, fine. I need a blocker right here. In the air. Let's see if it makes it. Okay. Acceptable. Going all in. Okay, so gotta take this one out. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is lethal. This is lethal. So if I can make it here. Okay, so this will give me back 1 life. I have blocked their Phoenix in the air, so we're going to trade on that. That's fine. Torbrand is going to take out my Strider, and then I'm going to get 4 damage from the champion. Okay, so Spitter. There's the 5th land. That'll save me for a little bit. I'll be able to block the champion. This is still lethal. This is not enough to hold everything off. Yeah, let's just move on to the next game. It was going so well. But then I never got my Woe Strider to stop the Torbrand. So let's put in some Pyrrhica's Libations to kill their creatures. We're going to see a lot of mono red on the ladder because it was a top performing deck on the championships. This is a horrible hand. That's not that great either. It's way too slow for them. They're going to do turn 1 champion. There it is. And they're going to do turn 2 robber. Well, at least this will hold them off for a moment while I get my bearings. Steamkin, that's worse. So they only know to attack. I am red aggro, I must attack, even though they're hurting themselves here. So, right here they will either need to kill their champion or their Steamkin. They'll probably go with the champion, because that Steamkin can definitely do cool stuff. I like what Steamkin does, but I really hate playing against it just because people overuse it so much and it gets so out of hand. Like right now here, see there's the robber. They'll be able to have one more red, probably for one more fervent champion. At the very least... Oh, so it's my turn. Okay, fine. At the very least, the... they didn't have a second single drop. Okay, let's do another one of these. I was also going to say, at the very least, I have less cards than their robber, so... they wouldn't be able to steal anything. Now, if I can get Ayara out and have her live, I can... Is that enough for an Ember Cleave? It wouldn't be too weird anyway. That's enough for their castle. Rimrock. So that's a 3/3. They seem to have one more trick up their sleeve. It could be a lightning strike, and then Ayara won't make it. Let's bring back the cat for double damage. Alright, let's see what we get here. So it's pausing for something, probably the adventure part of the Rimrock. So it's you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. I always have to block one of them. There's the cleave, which is fine. Might as well do this. It's if they attach it to the Steamkin, that's going to do 8 damage in total because it is double strike. They have a final shock. No, not a shock. They have... Yeah, it's a shock. They have all that mana anyway. Okay, I guess you need to do that, but then that'll decrease the Ember Cleave's ability. What is happening there? And let's see if I don't just whiff with a land. Yep, RNG, man. Hilarious. this deck is tuned that it's not supposed to have Mana Flood, but then of course it'll have Mana Flood, especially against an aggro deck. So really fun when the algorithm does that, isn't it? So let's see how many mono red cards are we going to get until, mono red decks until we get something interesting. And then this is a pretty bad hand as well. This deck has a lot of turn 1, turn 2 plays, but instead it decided to give me just all lands. The next draft. Not too sure. Turn 2 Fenlurker. They're playing a little slow. Although they'll have their 3 black for their rider. Okay, they're trying to do black, white, and blue, and that Dream Trawler wasn't gonna make it, so Kaya.
The crueler the opponent, the sweeter the victory. Pack your bags.
There's nothing in the graveyard to exile, so I guess so they're playing blue, black, white, and they'll be able to go get their blue source, which will probably result in a Teferi. Interesting. Now they probably also have plenty for Shatter the Sky. Which is fine, because I've got 2 Ayaras. Temple of Enlightenment. And nothing. Okay. Well, I guess what that could be is the... What was I going to say? That could be the something. Anyway, they've kind of been playing very slow. I guess they've been kind of getting bad stuff. That's a time wipe, which is fine, because then I can just make a treasure. 5th land. Let's see, do they have another board wipe? Trawler. Okay, well, this is game over. Let's see here. This is a very good deck. They have a lot of planeswalkers, and they've got the... They've got the... They've got the Dream Trawler, they've got Planeswalkers. It just didn't come together fast enough on my end. So I'm going to totally change it up to be more destructive. putting in the Spectral Shriek for turn 1 removal. I have 4 Agonizing Remorses, none of those turned up. I'm putting in the Libation, which is a non-targeted removal for that Dream Trawler. And then I'll lower the curve to try to get those items. Okay, good. Get to go first. I've got that Libation. Okay, so let's see what's in store here. Lot of good things. 2 Kuronoses, Ashiok. So they're going to be able to summon Ashiok soon enough. Kronos is 3/3 lifelink. But they have 2 of them. Ashiok's not too bad. I think that'll be better there. So I'm going to bring in Ayara, then they'll have the decision to either bring out their 3/3 or the Devout Decree. Oh, that's only a 2-mana. Okay, forgot about that. Left it on top. So what else is there? Kuronos. I want to bring that back. Sure. Remorse. Okay. Pick either one you want. I think they have enough for a time wipe. I keep thinking that that decree is one of those like enchantments that that if I remove I get things back, but it's not. So, Kuronos, but they'll have another one ready. So what will they drop here? So they'll probably time wipe. They'll probably attack, gain life, then time wipe, because then they've got another Kuronos. And it'll just save their own Kuronos. Hey there, Stevie, how are you doing? I'm trying to battle the hounds of the underworld over here. So we got the chat appearing on the screen again. That's good, like you said, Mark. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Ooh, we got an Ashiok here. This matchup is just not going well, so I have Murderous Riders to deal with that. I have plenty of hand disruption, but still, that's what happens. So I know I've used this deck before to good results. It's just that the RNG is out to get me. But let's play a little bit more and see if we get some good luck this time. Chronos CBA. They have these cool Eldraine sleeves. That's pretty cool. Going with blue. This is going to be a Azorius control, and I'm going to get Teferid on turn 3. We got Simic, it seems. Omen. So even though they went first, they're playing a little slow. There's a beast in here. Okay. I haven't seen Questing Beast in a long time. So, that's interesting. I'm playing with that. Let's set ourselves up for some card draw. That's interesting as well. I hardly see people not valuing that Risen Reef. They must have a lot of amazing things in hand if they can just throw them away like that. That cannot block. Can't attack. Okay. Let's see if we can set up here to... Let's see if we can set up to do Grey Merchant next turn. Growth Spiral. We have plenty of land. One blue source. Yeah, the goat sound is hilarious. But we have to send it to the farm. Brazen Borrower, whatever. Agonizing, okay. We got an Uro, we got a Krasis. Okay, I can do a double card draw. If I sacrifice Woe Strider to Scry, I would get double card draw, one from the Reaper's ability, and then... or no, just one, never mind. I would get two if I did Ayara. Okay, so that's kind of a puny Krasis. The big brain play would have been to make it a 1/1 so I could attack with the with the beast. Okay, that draws me a citadel. Very nice. I want that. I want to play the citadel, but I could probably kill them with Grey Merchant. Is that 8 damage? That'll be, how much damage? It's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus Ayara 9. This will be game over if I can summon my merchant and they don't gain life. Okay. That'll let them just blink their grazer, but that won't be meaningful. And okay, this is game over thanks to Gary. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so they're playing Simic. Based on what I've got here, I could do Farika's Libation, which would make them sacrifice an enchantment. Sacrificing will deal with their good old Gary. The libation will deal with their indestructible god, because it's not a destruction. I think I'll put in those, and guess take out a couple of rankles. Let's see how it goes this time. Okay, cat oven. Turn 1 cat oven. Turn 2, drop a second cat and the oven. Got a reef. Okay. Lotus Field, pretty lucky on that. Let's see, what do we get here? They have 3, 4, they have 4 mana. There's another reef. Fine. We're going to top deck another Lotus Field. That'd be ironic. It's a lot of fast mana. And then an Omen. Yep, they're really tapping out that hand. And with the Scry, that'll be good because they can see what's coming. And they pot him too. Okay. Fine. If they attack with that reef, I'm fine. Okay, they didn't, so this time they are valuing that reef a lot. But it didn't really seem like they really had elementals in the deck, but it still does its thing. Okay, so I'll probably hold on to my rider. I'll probably block a grazer and leave a cauldron to go through. That'd be okay, that's fine. If I lose that, they lose one of their reefs. Plus I get a card. So I'll take that. Wildborn, sure. Our Boreal, sure. They're gonna be able to make that like into a 5. No, into a 3, 4. They can make that into a 6/6 if they pump all their mana into it, but still I can just block it with my cat combo, and then I can Murderous Ride it. Okay, you got a 6/6. I get a card draw here. Remorse. I have none. Let's see if it's worth it to look at their last hand. Beast, sure. Okay. So again, I can block that Preserver pretty easily. They're gonna need to scry, okay. So they top to deck nothing good, I guess. And they bottom both. Okay, so they'll attack with a 6/6. I'll block with the cat. Draw a card off the Reaper. They take a damage. Bring the cat back. I probably don't need to do another Agonizing Remorse because their top decked card was probably not amazing. I might as well do it. I have 2 mana left. So we'll get that Reef out of here and attack with a 3/2. That's going to be a big crisis. Or something that they're going to pump a lot of mana into. Yep, there you go. See? Why is it so obvious sometimes? Okay, I guess you have a 6/6. Okay, so we got one more Murderous Rider to take care of that crisis. I have my 6th land drop. I could bring out the Bolus's Citadel and top deck some amazing stuff, but that's a 6/6 in the air, so let's get rid of that. And then see what's in the hand and get the best thing. Growth Spiral, Brazen Borrower. You're out of here. Whittling down their defenses. That's at least someone using those 0/3s when they've been used up, because sometimes people don't use them as blockers. So they drew 2, but those were not lands. Another spiral. And they can spiral once more. Okay, it looks like they're kind of drawing a lot of duds. But they have a ton of mana. Next turn, I can Bolus's Citadel. And see if I can do some amazing shenanigans. When I was playing Commander earlier, the Citadel was pretty amazing. 2 lands in a row. Amazing. They could double block that Reaper to get rid of it, but they want it too much. Okay. I haven't seen Uro yet. They do keep getting a lot of lands for a huge Crisis, but it looks like they're thinking about scrying because they don't have anything good in hand. No, it's of course going to be a huge Crisis. Okay, let's see if this Citadel can get me anything good. That was going to be another land off the top, eh? That's another land off the top. And that's another Citadel. Let's pull that off so that we can keep one of them. Do a libation. And then another land. Great. Anyway, let's bring out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have enough. I have 7. So, a Yara to gain a little life, a flyer to block a 9/9, but it has trample. And then they have a grip of cards. They're gonna kill that. Okay, well, that's it there. It's going so well. They pumped a lot of mana into that final Crisis, and it just got them a lot of cards, so card advantage is always important. So what's everyone up to there in the chat? Practicing your game dev stuff? That sounds pretty cool. Okay, so the opponent doesn't seem to have any creature that they could drop to pump up that preserver spontaneously, but I have a flyer which can be blocked. They have reach. So they did top deck a creature that would give the preserver... I mean, they did top deck a creature, but they didn't have enough to keep it alive, so what did they top deck this time? Another Omen. Top both. Risen Reef. It'll become a 4/4, sure. Okay, so they're going to attack with a 4/4. I can block with the Reaper, get double the value. This is what I was saying before, that if I block it like that, and then with a Yara sacrifice that, I get double cards. They didn't do one particular card. So they're obviously holding on to a Krasis. So there's going to be a big Krasis here. We'll just block with a goat, which we will scry away. Oven. Don't have the cat. And what we could do here is play the Citadel. Okay, so that gets bigger and bigger. There's the cat. There's the oven. There's the rider. And then finish with a land. Okay. So that's pretty epic. Got a 3/1 flyer. Yeah, I had plenty of life for casting stuff, and I thought, why not? Okay, so I've got the cat, I've got the oven, I've got Ayara. That's going to be double damage. And then I have a blocker. Kept one on top. Gray Merchant. Top decking a Gray Merchant with Bolus's Citadel. So much devotion on the battlefield, and that was minus 12 or 15 or whatever that was. Very nice. I should clip that. Why doesn't it let me do a clip? That's weird. Okay, well, that might be a nice way to end it off. So I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. So I think I'll wrap it up at this point. And I appreciate everyone coming to hang out and watching the stream and so forth. I've got some fun gameplay going on when it wants to behave. And yeah, we'll wrap it up at this point. So, eyes everywhere. That's pretty cool art. What's going on with that? What does that do at the beginning? Scry every time. And oh yeah, that's the one where you get to exchange control of stuff. Like what? Like my graphic design perspective is like, look at this horrible typesetting. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. This is the worst example of graphic design. When you have like one word on the next line, that's kind of like really amateur. A bad mushroom card, exactly. You shouldn't be eating those mushrooms because they're going to look at you and torment you. Okay, well, everyone, thanks for hanging out. I will be back possibly throughout the week or definitely by the next Saturday. Don't forget to check out the Patreon stuff coming up on Patreon, on YouTube. There's the merch. There's all that good stuff. So this has been VM Campos, and I'll see you next time.